Siren. I was the waif in the snowbank of the banquet hall parking lot, a voluptuous stray, a bravura drunk, my thoughts encrypted in sugar. Chiming through my rain-streaked gaze, the hues of this week's cocktail, Curacao blues, maraschino rage, olive, lime cordial, not bitter. Unplugged from the folk circuit, unhinged by your grin, when the heat deigns to return, the extremities sing pain. The perimeter keeps expanding, shots ricochet round the arch. Catch me if you must, bake me into the earth's crust. I clawed you from the rock, and now you glisten on my finger. In the marble at your temples, I can trace the throb of doubt. All night, the blind truck river road courses past my house. Sirens swim the butterfly to comfort each shipwreck. So that poem is a kind of contemporary in English version of the very ancient Persian form called a ghazal, or it's more like a hazal. I wrote, the first one I wrote won the Walrus Poetry Prize in 2013, which was, of course, very encouraging. And then I started to write many, many more. So the Siren, the collection, has, it's maybe 60% ghazals. And then some of them actually, I did finally write a few with the traditional repeated end rhyme scheme. So I'm going to read, I'll read one of those so that you get a sense of the actual tradition, although it's fairly feisty. My red hair. Was it 70s film stock that first lit the flare? Blonde-haired babe, auburn kid, now I choose my red hair. Small screen siren comedienne, curled lip, long-stemmed rose. Unbeliever, fingers firewalk through my red hair. Spray painted for raves, silver nitrate, cyan, lime, washed next day to ruby embers, trash's treasure, my red hair. Bookish kid, owlish adult. Did Lucy Maud miss her E? Anne could burn down Green Gables with my red hair. Postpartum red-handed, bleeding for what's gone and here. Pale blue newborn eyes focus on my red hair. Pinups. Garnet, ruby, beryl, sardonic, wisecrack, sardonyx. Lust's objective correlative, my red hair. Phoenix, firebird, plath, I will eat them like air. Set your mouth near my temple, fire breathe my red hair. Red cat, October poet, you're not immortal, red Tara. The fire and snow, the flash and opal, my red hair. That poem is actually going into an anthology from Ullaton Press, which is coming out now, I think it's coming out next year, called Canadian Ginger. It won't only be poetry, there's also, I think, fiction and nonfiction in it, but anyway, that. So I will read more of the, another one of the more outrageous ghazals. Baby Grand. But I followed instructions. Wring blood from a stone and use the drops as lip gloss. My new job is branding mascara. This one's called The Tracks of My Tears. At the Baby Grand, my pearly whites dissolve to box office poison. Sawzall, Adderall, bias cut satin, recipe for trouble. You can let yourself down from the ceiling. My name is no longer Miss Muffet. Now I'm known as Queen Charlotte II. In my memoirs, your chapter is Some Pig. 1,000 years after disco died, we gaze at the glittering sphere. Every ceiling fixture we own is a folie de grandeur. I might have known we'd come unglued in the palace of particle board. The baptismal river of tears flows to an azure ocean playground. From Formula One to formulaic before the engine cooled. Headless torso, knees and toes in the bullet-ridden sky. Round 3 and the love is off. My fingertips are numbskulls. A right-handed woman is always in search of a missing right-hand glove. So the book also has poems in quite a different vein. And let's see, where's the heart monitor? Okay. I had a pulmonary embolism in 2013, and I nearly died, but here I am. And so I eventually wrote a poem about the experience. And there's just one thing you might need to know, which is that when I talk about an art line, it's the medical short form for an arterial line that they put into you so that they can monitor all your various vital signs. Heart monitor. My blood is in a palace coup against my lungs, racing through the heart's hallways, the corridors of the powerless. Oh, I contain multitudes, yes, a throng of the mutinous. Ruby-throated clots in the bloodstream stole my breath. Here I lie, untitled, unfinished work, pale, bruise-eyed, nothing to see but an art line, fireworks my veins, blue, yellow, red to the pretty screen. That's my last Duchess over my shoulder, live streaming spots of crimson joy. It's cold in the gallery, mint walls, peach art, eternal still life, the uprooted undead drinking water through their veins that no one sees, all eyes on screen, the resonance of emerald, the rush. Remote heart monitor, cat on my lap, purrs to the nurse on another floor. There, they never sleep, so I dream for them. Their installation piece, the scribbler. Across the hall's the scream. He has the view, ravine, ice water, the distaff drive where trauma arrives. Or perhaps I have the view, the lit all-night stairwell, brick, snowflakes flying upwards. Bent over my notes, what am I really? The lace maker. My heart's apace. I'll write to you until I lose my sight, the thread, and the current's flow. Okay, so switching tone again to another ghazal. Night school. I started school at Immaculée Conception, if you can believe it. If you believe that, just step this way into my chalk drawing. The freckles splotched on bamboo are the tears of a jilted wife. Each day I find new beauty spots emblazoned by the sun. He loves me not, he loves me past the melting point of steel. Every streetlight's a fixed star, a star burnt out at dawn. Battledore and shuttlecock, hobby horse and peep show. I was a self-riding toy until you changed the rules. Inside the glassy-eyed greenhouse, flowers amp up the heat. Carnation, lily, lily, rose. Jeune fille en fleur, tante, teacher. The view from here to the Earth's core is quite spectacular. The light will slow dance on those leaves whatever day you've had. Beds of roses end as bubbles in the clawfoot tub. It only takes one burning bush to set the hills on fire. Mary, Mary, quite contrary, labor movement leader. I'll say it, Mariolatry left gorgeous stains on glass. Maids with center-parted hair, knights errant in distress. The temple is a wreck, but just think what we learned from this. So there are a few poems that kind of betray my Catholic background in the book. That's one of them. I lapsed Catholic. Okay, just a few more. I have a section of haiku, more or less haiku, in the middle of the book, just to throw everyone off. So I'll just read a few of them. Just saying for WCW. Plums from the icebox? Was he kidding? My teeth hurt. Poets are liars. This one was in the Literary Review of Canada. Sexed. What are you wearing? Something that breathes. A dress made of living doves. I was impressed that they accepted that poem with that title. Sunrise with sea monsters. Storm Seer Turner had himself lashed to a mast. The sirens stared back. Okay, and I'll just read two more. I'm going to read one that was actually, since Monty Reed is reading tonight, which was shortlisted for ARC's Poem of the Year in 2016, I think. And it appeared in ARC. Reluctant, reluctant. If nothing less than perfection will do, you're likely in talks with the devil. You could prop up that regime with one foot. The emperor never gets dressed. The fortunes in these cookies are all character is destiny. I'm surprised to find myself still on the menu. I must be there for a reason. A blind owl's eyes and the planet Mercury swim into my ken. Blue, unknowable jewels. I've left your tears on the shelf by the door. In the tale of the princess and the pea, what keeps her awake is a pearl smothered in mattresses, the grit at the heart of lust. The moon is a pearl we've lost and found and lost and found and lost. Let me in, you know my iris, I'll match you brainwave for wave. The page wears a sliver of gold, sackcloth smothers the hedge in winter. A thorn from that hedge will prick you and spit rubies in the snow. Reluctant, reluctant, let down your long hair. The offer has almost expired. So wise the swans, doubling back their necks to sleep on their own feather beds. And so now I'll thank you very much for the invitation, Pearl, and for reading, for being such a welcoming audience. Thank you. It's really a thrill. This is my first Ottawa reading, and it's just been a delight. So I'll just recite for you the coin under the leftmost sliding cup. Did you feel the earth move? That was our tectonic dance party. The world is a crowded club with all the exits blocked. I might sound like a goose in an opera gown, but I say again, I love you. I'm tired of all this thinking at the very top of my lungs. If only my fingers could keep up, then the dialogue in my head wouldn't unscroll like a 30s screwball in underwater slow-mo. What if the truth of desire lies in Aesop upside down, where the fox's teeth are the unattainable and the grapes full of rationalizations? I'm not too cool to care, though. Nature and I have a lover's quarrel. I adopted the strut of the peacock and the nightingale's nightgown. After 15,000 texts, can we say we have a past? My love for you is ephemeral, elliptical, ekphrastic. Love to me was cotton candy, spangle, collapse, tongue grit. With you, it's sadness scissored out, lights on a suspension bridge. Sport with me, I am the coin under the leftmost sliding cup. Right, left, double crossing, there. Now you're in my pocket. Cell phone, salter, cigarette, gun. We like to set fire to our palms. Rome burns as I photograph flowers or wear them as a bra. Call it playing with fire, call it connect the dots lightning. Whenever we run down to the lake ascends Sky Mountain. Streetlights, an earthbound lunatic, courting June's too perfect leaves. These gardens are a plein air perfume factory, drunk on their own power. The spaceman loved the gumball machine. Beautiful, beautiful. But each time he took her by the arm, she lost another sweet eye. It's curtains for you, day. Stars eye us from the stage. Ars longa, vita brevis, kid. Long walk, short pier. Thank you.